Round 9, Road America. Here's my hot lap. You can see I have 1.2 laps of fuel on board. I somehow managed to get a clean track with no fuel left. The tires are worn out. You can see that, a bit of understeer through turn 1 to 2. I got the track map on here so you can see us head down the, I guess this would be the back straight, I suppose. I'm not sure why this is called the Moraine Sweep heading into turn 5. There's a bit of a bump here on your downshifts. You want to clear that, time it, and swoop it in. I was a little hesitant on turn in, not wanting the rear end to step out. Big Corvette advertising for turn 6. 7. 7's fun. You kind of swoop it through. It's full throttle in this car if you line it up. And heading down into the hurry downs. You see this McLaren getting in my way. I had been flashing my lights at him that whole time. I don't know why. I guess he's on a hot lap too, so he thought, but bro, just get out of the way. That was Carousel. Carousel's a fun turn. It's kind of never-ending right into the kink, turn 11. Very dangerous turn. They call this the Kettle Bottoms straight, although it's not very straight, I suppose. Into Canada corner. So easy to lock up and go wide there. It's a flat turn. Now we're going through a couple little bends here. You can see me use the outside line there, a bit of a bop into the final turn, turn 14, which sees us go down the straight. So even though I got held up, this was my fastest lap. Thankfully, thanks to the low fuel, you can see I've got 0.2 laps left. I tried to get it around again for another lap to pit for fuel, but I couldn't. So start of the race, I would have qualified 5th, about half a second off of the leader. I get jumped again. I got to work on my starts. But heading into turn 1, it's going to be a little tricky. I've got 2 cars to my inside line, plus Day right behind me. Here it is, turn 2. Look, Day even tries to come through. And I spin it on lap 1, an unforced error. I just panic shifted down to first gear and floored it. Triggered traction control, which caused me to spin around. And here come the GT3 Pros. He flashes the lights at me. He never passed me, so I was able to stay in front of those guys. So here it is, Carousel with Cody. Understeers. You can use the brake to save this. His lap times were pretty bad, though, during qualifying, so he would retire. I don't think he had much interest in this race. Now, I'm back in last, which would be 13th. Now 12th after Cody. Here's a battle with Ken. It's going to be a lock-up in front. But he almost loses it, the rear end stepping out. Here's Miles going over that little bit of a hop. I guess that's turn 13. Now, he claimed this was a landmine. I just think he's full throttle. You got to know when you hit this, you're going to upset the rear. So he full throttle, he kept his foot in it. He's going to spin up the rear so that when they land, they instantly cause oversteer or, slip. So there I go passing him. So even though I went down the last, someone started from the pit lane. So I was down to 13th. Now I'm running in 11th. Farther up ahead, we have Justin. Another livery. New for this week. They go into turn 5 side by side. Pretty exciting racing, but he has to yield for that turn. Pretty good battle, safe battle. Now Ken is still in a battle in 11th. This is the battle that's in front of me on lap 3. Oh, this dude has another big lockup, but this time Ken is able to capitalize. Now this is happening in front of me on lap 3. and you're going to see me with some classic target fixation. And again, I shifted down to first, or a gear too many, and caused instant traction control engagement. I didn't practice a lot for this race, and it shows. Here we have Chris on lap 4. This is the battle for about 5th, 6th. Whoa! I thought it was kind of fair racing. You see from Nathan's camera. Oh man, pretty wild stuff there. Now back on to lap 5. Chris is trying to get a pass done and work his way up, but outbrakes himself. Both people were having issues with that, trying to chase down that guy in front. I don't know who it was. So here I'm able to get a pass done on Chris, promoting myself to 10th by the 5th lap. You see Ken, he was having an issue with Canada corner, and then he runs it long on this lap. Aaron, he comes in, also runs it wide. So now I come down to see this all kind of happening. A guy off in the sand. This guy goes wide. So after those 2 mistakes, I get promoted to 8th. Not bad. And now we're just starting to get up to the GT3 traffic. We have this guy back of the bunch. Basically, he's in 40th of 44 cars. That includes retirements. He goes wide and then comes into the carousel. Here I come flying through, knowing he's gone offline. I mean, this guy should just get the fuck out the way. But I thought he was going to hold the inside, then he swoops back to the outside. Kind of a lazy turn. So I don't think he has a lot of experience, and it shows. Back on board Justin. Now by lap 7, we're doing a lot of GT3 lapping. I think Andrew's behind him here. Justin goes wide, brings it back, but gets clobbered. I mean, he was pretty aggressive on his rejoin. Racing incident, I think. And this all happened in front of Days, so now Days trying to get through on these GT3s, but they're battling for position. Day decides to send it all the way down into turn 6 and helps a Porsche turn around. Oh man, I would say he's one of the least patient of the LMP2 drivers when it comes to GT3 traffic. So here I come through over the supposed landmine, but I throttle lift there, rewind it, you can see me, I knew what was happening. Miles was complaining about landmines, but you know, don't go dancing on landmines is what I say to that. Lap 10, I decided to pit. I've had contact and off tracks. I had to come through and serve a drive-through penalty. I believe on this lap, though, I actually pit for fuel. I can see how much time is lost. It is such a long pit lane. I come in and I fuel, and then I was prompted. Actually, no, that is my drive-through. I wasn't too sure if I got it satisfied, the requirement for the drive-through, but it was clean. I didn't get disqualified. My race engineer had me second guessing myself. But I exit looking back now at P1. So I'm about to get lapped, and I don't want it to be a big deal. But at the same time, you know, I'm trying to find my rhythm, lap this GT3 traffic, and oh look, who it is again. I know this guy gets in the way, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to stay behind him, let the leader come through. He decides to then cross over and block the leader. He must have been confused about my position. He thought maybe I was battling with them or something. And me just trying to get out the way, stay behind the GT3 traffic. You can see the leader flash his lights. I'm like, I'm not going to move. And then this guy comes right across. Oh, man. He'd retire from the race. I don't know if he got wrecked later on, so he had a rough go. And then I managed to sneak through. Oh, right, this is what happens. So now going up under the Corvette corner, he gets completely bopped. And then this is when he decides to retire from the race. That LMP2 kind of, you'll see it better from this perspective. We have a damaged Ferrari drive-by. There I go. Then you see that red Ferrari, and then there's an LMP2. He's going to send it on the inside, and this guy's oblivious. He has no idea what's happening. So here it is from Thomas's onboard. You gotta know when you're in 40th place, when first and second are start trying to pass you. You gotta be understanding of all this. So lap 19, I think everyone's done their pit stops. We have Aubrey coming through here into Canada corner. Everything's looking pretty good. He's gonna swing it up here over the landmine, no issues. Thought he had the outside line, but this Porsche just sitting right in the middle of the road. This would not affect my track position, but did affect the standings. And we have Chris coming through the kink, through the kettle bottom. He's gonna send it on Aubrey, but took too late to whip it out here. Amazingly, didn't wreck his car. But yeah, kind of whipped it back. He tried to find the racing line, missed the braking zone, almost gets hit by GT3s on the exit. Overall, it didn't change my result. And we see Justin with a 1-point lead. I'm still very much in a battle for third. I think I can get day. I think this is possible. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you next week at the Roval.